Welcome to the Work Hard, Play Hard podcast. My name is Rob Murgatroyd, and I am a former doctor turned lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I interview some of the best minds on the planet on the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. Today's episode is a mini-sode that we call Fri-Date with the Wife. In these mini-sodes, my wife Kim and I deconstruct the strategies that we've developed over the last decade to not only grow personally, but to turn our struggles into lessons and create fulfillment in all areas of our lives. Excuses are over. It's time to live. Let's dig into today's topic. All right, before we jump into this episode, I want to invite you to be considered for my Work Hard, Play Hard Mastermind by completing an application at workhardplayhardmastermind.com. So this mastermind is not like any mastermind you may have been to or heard of, I promise you. This mastermind is for 6 to 7 figure entrepreneurs that are working too damn much and aren't taking the time to have amazing experiences around the world with an incredible tribe of people. So every 100 days or so, I drop you into new experiences that are specifically designed to elevate your thinking, to give you new ideas. Look, you get your best ideas not staring at a computer. And actually, this is the way high-level people really collaborate with each other. They do it over a glass of champagne, watching the sunset in the south of France. And we'll be doing things just like that. In fact, we'll be taking a vintage car ride through the French Riviera this summer, and we'll be truffle hunting in Florence in the fall, to name just a few of the experiences so that I can give you a feel for it. So if you are ready to do some fun stuff around the world and really, really want to level up your tribe in one shot, fill out an application at workhardplayhardmastermind.com. We'll jump on a call and we'll see if it's a good fit. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Well, Kimberly, I'm cleansing. Murgatroyd, how are you?
I'm cleansing. How'd you know I was cleansing?
I could tell you got a little cute water bottle with your cleanse juice. You're a heck of a cleanser. You know that?
You know what? You're getting ready to go to the For Love of Money Mastermind, and I take this week to detox literally everything. I sleep when I want. I cleanse for a couple of days. I don't drink alcohol. It's literally a detox from my life.
It sounds like I'm a bad influence.
Sometimes. Well, you do make me go to bed early. So just out of a little bit of, retaliation, I guess, whatever, I go to bed later. You would not like my bedtime when you're gone.
Well, on the subject of rituals when I'm traveling and rituals when you're home, like that segue?
Yeah. How'd you do that? That was spiffy.
I think what we should talk about is some non-negotiables. So what we try and do, kids listening, I shouldn't call them children. That's condescending. Isn't it funny? You can call children children, but if you call an adult a child, they're pissed, right? It doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, you did.
But you could say kids and they're happy, but children implies it's condescension. Is that a word? Condescension?
I think you made that up.
I'm going to take the long way around here, but here's what I'm trying to say. When you think of traveling, what comes up is a different schedule, right? And I am an absolute creature of habit. I want to know that this water bottle that I'm pounding on the table is going to be drank at 6:59 in the morning, and then I'm going to do my e-shot from your amazing company in the morning, and I got my ritual.
Your bone broth.
My bone broth that you make for me, all of that stuff.
And now we're about to go away for 4 months.
So when I think about it, and I'm like, hey, man, I got this thing. I've worked really, really hard at creating a ritual. And so when, I'm embarrassed to say this, but when I think about different pockets of my morning, right? If I think about, I categorize them in different pockets. I have like a mindset pocket, and inside of that mindset pocket, I am, doing meditation and visualization for 20 minutes, and then I'm reading for 20 minutes, and then I'm journaling for 20 minutes. And then after that pocket, I move on to the body pocket. And then the body pocket, I go to the gym and I do my TB12 where I roll out my iliopsoas. My iliopsoas gets rolled out, right? Then I got the bigger roller that rolls out all the different muscles in my body. And then I do my 30 minutes of HIIT training. Then I come home and I got my shower block. And in the shower block, I got certain products that I use for my hair, certain
9
products.
million of them.
Yeah, they're all lined up. And then after the shower block, then I got the work block. And inside of the work block, I do this, at 12 o'clock and at 1 o'clock. So the point is,
I am in awe right now.
The point is, I got these.
Oh my God.
I got these blocks, and so you really want to watch my head explode. Look at me trying to see, Lecce in Italy for 2 weeks or however long we're there, and going, well, are the church bells going to affect me?
Yeah. So this subject came up the other night when we were looking at our extended European vacation that we are going to be taking. I wouldn't call it a vacation. I don't know what I'd call it at
Is
this
Chevy
point.
Chase coming with us?
I know, right? But listen, if one of us doesn't end up in jail, we'll be good. So we are hitting, 8 cities, I think, over 4 months. And for the majority of them, it's going to be like 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And then we have a long stint at the end in Florence. But, when you're a ritual person, apparently that kind of change fucks with you. And that's what I'm learning about my husband. So, this is a really good, I think, look into our marriage and how we function or don't function. And, when you get squeezed and when the pressure gets applied, what's inside comes out. And everything gets magnified. So
you squeeze the ravioli, the goat cheese comes out, right?
Exactly. So you are a ritual-based person. Now, if I start to apply outside pressure.
Yeah, but my way is right.
I know,
okay?
I know. But if I start to apply that outside pressure of travel, of lack of routine, of every 2 weeks being in a new place with a new bed and a new pillow and a new shower and a new layout of our house, and all of these things new sounds, new smells, new sights, that really goes right against what you have created, which is rituals. But what I think is it gives you an opportunity for growth, because now you can take your rituals and you can say, these are the things that are important to me. And I am open to growing and doing them in every location and any location that I can. So, Rob and I right now are 3 weeks ish, like 3-4 weeks, something like that. Oh, what is it? 24 days away from packing up our house and spending 4 months in Europe with Sophia and hosting 2 events during that time for the Work Hard, Play Hard Mastermind, doing coaching calls for his coaching business, I'm still building my team. We're actually in a really big push right now and we're in a lot of momentum and growth and a cycle of growth. And so this is not a vacation. This is not go lay at the beach for 4 months. This is work. This is play. This is family. This is a lot of things. And, Sophia is usually in school or camp until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. She's going to be with us 24/7. So there's a lot of things that are changing and there's a lot of external pressures that are going to be applied. But when Rob and I have to figure this out, we have to have a way to figure it out without killing each other or canceling this whole trip.
When I think about, what it was like for us expanding our travel, we went from a week in Mykonos every year to 2 weeks to 3 weeks to 4 weeks, et cetera. And
we went from 1 month to 4 months.
Yeah. Well, but here's okay, you just said something that really, really struck me. So here's the difference between the two of them. When we did Mykonos and Sophia started getting a little older, then we had new challenges. And the challenges were, oh shit, this little so-and-so likes to get up early. I got to do 3 less shots of ouzo tonight because she's gonna get up early. And as part of that, I wake up in the morning and I go, oh, okay. Well, now I got a kid that's raring to go. And the ritual that we had in Mykonos had to be changed. And so I remember going there and going, okay, this is not as, I don't want to say fun, because anytime you're in the Greek islands, it's fun, but it's not as relaxing maybe.
Can I set the stage for this real quick?
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a play from the Rob Murgatroyd playbook.
Yeah.
And I remember exactly where I was. We were sitting at a table at the Andronikos Hotel, which, by the way, is our favorite place to stay. And we were sitting at a table next to the pool, and it was on day 5 of a 30-day trip. And you sat down and you said, I don't think I can do this. And I said, what? You said, I can't, like, she's killing me right now. Sophia's driving me crazy. I don't know what to do. This is nuts. Because what we used to do is we'd wake up late. We'd have Greek yogurt by the pool. We'd go somewhere for a 2.5-hour lunch. We'd do a late beach afternoon and roll into sunset and then dinner. And
so far that sounds good.
It sounds amazing, right?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay. Well, that was when she was a baby, literally a baby, and slept through lunch. And
you had her in the slingshot thing.
I did. I like, she was always tied to my body or sleeping at lunch, and it worked. It worked for us. But then she hit like 2.5 and everything shifted. And now she's up early. She wants to go swim. Like, she's a 2-3-year-old. She wants to wake up and go to the beach and go swimming. She doesn't want to wait all morning for you to get your morning routine done, then go sit through a 3-hour lunch, which, by the way, we were sitting at a lunch on the beach. Could you think of anything more torturous for a 2-3-year-old than watching all the other 2 and 3-year-olds play at the beach in the water while daddy has to, slowly sip a bottle of rosé over his freshly grilled fish and talk about life? Like, she was going to kill somebody. So you and I hit a point, and it was a big struggle there. We were like, okay, this isn't working. Okay. And I know that it's not working for you, and you're all out of whack and out of routine, but it's not working for her and it's not working for me. So we need to find something that's going to work for our family. And that's the same place that we're going to be in now. We're going to get to Lecce or whichever. Mykonos, we've got it handled now. We know the routine. We know how to do that because that's more vacation style.
Well, but here's the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make is that when we hit that point of trying to figure out what the heck to do, we had to put our heads together. And you, being the most amazing woman that the history has ever seen in life.
He must want something.
You said, look, I want you to have what you want. I want to be a good mom. I want to be, I want Sophia to have what she wants, and we need to figure out a way to do this. So why don't you? And then we started. And then we were like, okay, how about you get up in the morning, you go down to there's a little Greek church on the property. You go down to the Greek church, you do your exercise down there.
So exercise in front of the Greek church.
It's really funny watching. What's really funny is the Greeks walking by, with a cigarette and a frappe, watching me do, jumping up and down in front of the church. Plyometrics. Thank you. That's sort of interesting.
Well, we had to meet everyone's needs.
But we had to figure it out. And so then we created the system, and the system was, all right, you go down, you do your thing, then I'll take Sophia down, we'll have breakfast, and then we'll go back up. And when we go to the beach place, we'll have, maybe lunch on the beach so that she could play while we eat lunch, whatever. So we worked it out. So that was vacation, and it was challenging.
Yeah.
So now what you're saying to me is okay, Rob, look, this dream that we have of doing 4 months of traveling in Europe is not a 4-month vacation. We got some baby businesses here, right? You've got your network marketing business that's been going for a while, but you're still it's important to put momentum and continue to grow to accomplish your goals and your team's goals. I have a new mastermind that I'm always needing to continue to talk about and grow and develop. Now coaching has come onto the scene. So now I've got new coaching clients. I need to be thinking about them. And so the point is that there is work, and I want there to be work because I don't ever see a time in my life where I am going to sit there for 4 months and do absolutely nothing. I'm not wired that way, right? We're not wired that way. We're always going to want to grow. Where this all comes in is how do you take that entirely new environment where every 2 to 3 weeks we're in a different Airbnb, a different time, not always a different time zone, but occasionally different time zones, certainly a big time zone jump when we start this, and all new surroundings, and mixing in phone calls that you need to do with your team, phone calls that I need to do with coaching back to the States, both East Coast and West Coast. Exploring the new location, having the mental time blocks that I talked about at the beginning of the podcast, the body time blocks.
And not have Sophia sit on an iPad for 24 hours.
And not to mention the fact that I can't stand living out of a suitcase. So wherever we go, I've got to have everything out and organized. So when I think about this, on the one hand, I'm sure somebody is listening, putting a middle finger up to the speakers in their car right now.
Yeah, going, struggle is real.
Yes, and yeah. I get the privilege, and
first world problems.
I get the first world, and I get and don't mistake the grumbling for lack of gratitude.
But you know what? But people can use this in their daily life, because I know couples that are in our life that don't work this out in the way that we do. So I want to give you some tactical stuff and not just ramble about what we're going through over the summer. I want to be able to take this and allow you to apply it to maybe your trips or maybe even just your home life.
You have tactical stuff? You have a blank piece of paper. Is this in your head?
It's in my head.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so tactical stuff, right? Here's how we negotiate this time issue, because I have needs, Rob has needs, Sophia has needs. We find out what are all of those needs. Well, Rob needs to have his morning meditation, his morning journaling, and his morning workout. Because if he doesn't have those 3 things, he's going to be a grumpy bear and he's not going to be fun for anybody. And so it is a priority in our family.
And it's a progressive problem, because if I don't have it for a week because of A, B, and C, 2 to 3 weeks in, I'm going to be a dick.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said it, not me. But so that is a priority for our family, to make sure that our rock, our cornerstone, my husband, is a well-balanced dog. Okay, like Cesar Millan talks about. So we want him worked out so he feels good and he has energy. We want him.
I feel like this is Weekend at Bernie's, where you guys are propping me up.
There are days where I feel like it.
Right, like Sophia comes behind me, she's massaging my shoulders like Rocky in the corner, going, "Come on, let's go.
Let's go, Dad." So I want to make sure that you're taken care of and you have those things.
Thank you.
I also want to make sure that Sophia's needs are taken care of and she's not just handed an iPad and say, go do something. So
she doesn't want the iPad.
She doesn't want it. We try to give it to her. Yesterday I was like, take the iPad. She's like, no, I want to draw. I want to do this. I want to do that. But she wants to do it with me. So I want to make sure that she has a routine too, because she thrives on routine. I wonder where she Virgo got that.
Yeah.
So she thrives on routine as well. So I want to create a routine for her of reading and drawing and music and cooking, all the things she loves to do. So I'm going to have to look at what that routine looks like for her as well.
I'm laughing because her routine is so intense. Like, we have this new routine. She's been sleeping with us because we've had in-laws here that have been sleeping in her room. My mom and her mom both came, and so she's been sleeping with us. And we figure we only have another couple of weeks left, so we might as well just
keep the party going.
Keep the party going. So she's got this routine where she wakes up in the morning saying, "What are you grateful for?" This kid has such a routine. I just got a vision of her being married with her husband, and the 4 of us are sleeping in bed, and she's got to keep the tradition going because she can't break it.
She can't break it. She's a routine kid. So we're going to have to take her needs into account as well. And then, your wife has needs. And I am committed. I am literally dragging my yoga mat, which, if anybody wants the most badass yoga mat in the world, it's called the Mantra mat. And it is the best yoga mat. You don't need to put like towels and slip shit and all that.
Well, let's talk. I want to talk about your needs. So you're right. You nailed my needs. What are yours?
Well, my need is I need yoga.
Uh-huh.
I need meditation, which is something that I typically do during yoga, but I am going to put in a meditation and visualization practice that you're teaching me about.
Yeah.
And I want a writing block because I plan to do I want to write a few books while we're traveling. And then I need a work block. And so the way I'm seeing this is, Sophia is going to be out of school for those 4 months, and she is doing so well in school and enjoys it so much. And I want her to continue the things that she's doing. So her school has given us, little workbooks, and she's got her reading she's doing. So I figure we can all together do a power hour, power 2 hour of work block, and we'll all do our respective work around the table and make it fun. And,
how do you deal with the interruptions?
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't. So you'll handle the interruptions.
I guess it's mom life. I mean, you're going to have your headphones on, so it doesn't matter. Maybe, you know what we could do? We could teach her to work in her workbooks and listen to music, because she has music she likes as well. Or we could find some kid, music with a good, not BPM. What am I looking for? Hertz?
Yeah, Hertz.
Yeah. So whatever it is, we can teach her to work to music as well. And so, I look at this.
Just for the sake of clarity, what she's talking about is get an app. It's a free app called Insight Timer. And there's a lot of evidence to show that as human beings, we respond to different frequencies. Like think of a tuning fork.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, think of a tuning fork. You bang it and you get a certain frequency. The frequencies facilitate heart-centeredness. Some will help facilitate thinking. Some will help facilitate, different levels of emotion, sadness, etc. So,
and they really work. I've been using them. It's
crazy. If you get a frequency that you're not in the mood for, it will sound like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
If you get one that's right, you feel like you've got a warm blanket that's wrapping you. It's really, really great.
I've been using them to write, and they're amazing. So maybe we can create new. I guess the point in all of this is, when you are with your family, okay, every person in your family has needs, and all of the needs are equal. So my needs are not greater than your needs are not greater than mine, and all of that. And
but they got to be cohesive, right?
But they have to be cohesive. So you have to work together to, and this goes back to all the relationship talk that you and I have talked about in the past, which is playing at a high level relationship where your needs are my needs. And I truly want you to feel your best. And I know you want me to feel my best, because if we're at our best, our child will also be at her best, because she's going to imprint off of our energy. And if you're walking around like a crazy stressed out person because you can't find the right place to meditate, that's going to affect her, and that's going to affect our life. And so that's not going to happen. We are going to figure it out.
So the reason why we're sharing this with you is because, one of the things that we get people say the most is, I follow you guys on social media. It looks like it's a lot of fun, and there's never any problems. And how do you guys work together? And I thought that it would be a good idea, and by me thinking of this, it was Kim, would be a good idea for us to sit down while we're sitting in our living room, surrounded by moving boxes. Like we have headphones on our head, and we have moving boxes. Kim has ripped everything off the walls, and we are standing there. I mean, I think I still have underwear in my drawer, but everything else has been taken. And we're about to go on something that we've never done before. And on the one hand, you can argue and go, oh, poor you guys, you're traveling for 4 months. Or on the other hand, you can really look at people who've done things like this. And I'll tell you, you don't know somebody until you've traveled with them. And I'm certain that somebody listening right now knows what I'm talking about. When you're on a trip with somebody, all of the pressures that are inside of you start to come out because you're out of your routine, because things pop up that you don't expect to pop up. There's new challenges. There's homesickness, and not to mention that what we're doing is not even like where, when you do that sort of reverse countdown and you go, I'll be home in 3 days, I'll be home in 5 days. Our home is gone.
Yeah, we don't have a home.
Like we're
homeless.
We're homeless, and we don't even have one yet in California, because when these things come available, they're gone, very, very quickly. So we have to, find a place. We're going to rent it first. We have to find a place literally over the internet, and we have some friends in California that, are going to be gracious enough to go check it out. But the point is that this is all new and different, and we thought what we would do with the show is to, I guess, be vulnerable in a way and say, look, man, this is not easy.
This isn't easy. And this is going to be, we talked about growth and fixed mindset before, right? So you can have a fixed mindset and you can say, I need the right pillow. I need the right bed. I need the right this. I need the right that. And if I don't have this and I don't have that, and you can go down the whole thing and you can try to duplicate what you have here all around the world. But that's not going to happen. So you're setting yourself up for failure if you do that. So if you want to have a fixed mindset and go into this, it's not going to work out. You can't look and say, if I don't have the proper XYZ, then this whole thing, I'm going to be a horrible person. I'm going to be a bear. You need to go into this with the growth mindset and say, how can this trip make me better? How can, maybe I'm not going to have a desk in Montenegro that is quiet that I can do, but maybe I can go on our rooftop that we have in Montenegro. We have a rooftop deck in Montenegro, and maybe I can sit up there and do my meditation, in the sun, looking at the mountains and the bay below. Be open to things being different and taking your routine and sliding it in. And it may be different, but it also may be better. You may learn that you actually prefer to do your meditation and your visualization in nature, outdoors somewhere versus indoors. You've been doing it indoors for 6 months, staring at a wall, but now I see you creeping out onto the patio, doing it in the sun in nature.
Feels different.
It feels different. So be open to some of the things that may not be exactly the same. They may be better, and they may enhance your routine and not distract from your routine if you allow it. Because there's nothing worse than going to a foreign country and sitting down at dinner and hearing the table next to me talk about, well, this is definitely not America because service is so slow and there's not even this on the table, and all of this, and you got to pay for a bread service and all of this stuff because they're not in America. I'm like, then why the fuck are you traveling? If you want America, stay in America. So if you want things to be the same, stay where you're at. But if you want to grow, push yourself to do something different. And the way I think that, I think the point of this whole conversation and how you that are listening can apply this is, if you're in a relationship, remember, you want to play at a high level relationship, make the other person's needs your needs, and sit down together and find a way that everyone can get what they need so they can be and show up as the best person, the best version of themselves when you're together in a group. Because I know if he doesn't get his workout, he's going to be a bear. I know if I end up going for months, without yoga, I'm going to be crazy. And I know if Rob and I walk around like chickens with our head cut off, confused, irritated, then Sophia is going to be jacked up too. And so the best gift we can give our family is getting on the same page and making all of each other's needs, including Sophia, including your kids, the needs of the family.
All right, so I'll leave you with this. One of the trainings that I'm doing with Joe Dispenza is to talk about how you have to quite literally become a new person if you want to make a change. And we slide into what's familiar with us in our day, every single day. They're familiar emotions of stress, familiar emotions of anxiety, and we repeat the same patterns over and over. And the only way to not do that is to not do that. So looking at this, I'm going to reframe what these next 4 months look like, and I'm going to reframe them as looking into something, stepping into something that is not familiar to quite literally become a new person.
I love it. I love it. And we're going to take you along the way.
All right, everybody. Have a great week, and thank you for being our marriage counselor. All right. Thanks for listening. If you love this episode and you know someone that needs some help in either stepping up their work hard game or their play hard game, it would mean the world to me if you shared this podcast with them to help me get this movement out there. So if you like what you heard, head on over to iTunes, take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review, and I will be forever grateful. So until the next episode, excuses are over. It's time to live.